And we welcome you back to the Armchair Announcers Table podcast. I am Johnny.
I'm Chuck.
I'm Mike.
And welcome to part two of great heel turns throughout the Got to say more than decades. We're really old.
Decades.
A
A lot of
Decades. We'll just say throughout the years.
favorite heel turn.
Yeah. Right.
Again, if this is the first cast you've seen, ours, go back and watch part one. That kind of explains what we're doing here with our top fives as we move forward. We each take five, and then the next person that gets the random draw can't use those five, and they have to take new five, and we go from there. The first five Mike did on the podcast prior to this, he did a pretty good job. Got to give you some props. I'm going to put that list right here on the screen. That gives you an idea right there, folks. You can take a look at what he put on there and see. You can go back and watch it on your YouTube, or if hell, you might remember some of it. If you don't, if you do, or
If you don't, we give you something good that you can go look up.
yeah. And after we get done with my top five, after this, we're gonna want some comments and see who we miss, because I'm sure we missed some of your
Sure, we
favorites.
missed some. But
Let us know.
The cool thing about the ages here is that we're going to cover some decades and some different
Well, Chuck, what
hit us with.
What criteria did you use on your top five?
Well, I just went with ones that I mean, if I remembered them,
Yep.
no matter my age,
Yep.
at the time, and I think they had something that would help long term. I'm a big. I love the storytelling part.
Something
It
that
was
started
something
a
that was
story and
impactful
carried a story. I got you.
That changed.
I got you.
That turned a territory or an area. Those are the ones that stuck with me, and that's
That
what I
works
went
for
with.
me.
So
Well, let's shock Mike a little bit and go back in the day and let him know back when we watched black and white
Yes.
television and only had one
yes,
channel.
and we're
Well,
going
and,
to
fir-
start.
and two, were any of mine on your top five before we started?
Yes, yes.
Three of
One-
yours were on my
one-
top, not
one
my
of-
top five, not my top five.
One. You're number one. It was going to be my number five.
Bash at the Beach.
Yes.
Well, I was.
Okay.
I don't know if it would have made my top five or not. I got so many here, but as far as changing the world of professional wrestling,
right.
that number one Mike had. Yeah, you can't argue.
Can't argue it.
You can't. You know, you can't. So, all right, Chuck, started at your number five. What do you got at number five?
Well,
Number five.
my number five, all the way back to October of 1984.
84. Okay.
Yes, sir. 1984, the Dallas Sportatorium Arena.
Mm-hmm. I've got it on my list. Go ahead and say it.
Got it?
I got it.
Got it?
I got it.
You sure? Because they
I
had
do.
many of them.
I got
You
one.
got
The
a
one I
tag.
got.
You got a tag match.
Yeah.
Kevin Von Erich, Chris Adams against Gino Hernandez and Jake the Snake.
It's the one I got.
Yep.
That's the one I got.
A lot of talking back and forth for a few months. Chris Adams getting jealous, more and more jealous. He super kicks Kevin Von Erich and betrays the entire state of Texas.
That's right.
It was amazing.
It was.
And him and Gino went on to form the dynamic duo, which was one of my favorite all time. Mike, if you haven't gone back that far in the World Class Championship Wrestling, that tag team, they didn't last long because Gino had his issues. But
no, these names are familiar to me. Like, I ended up with a lot of your old magazines, from the old wrestling days. So I went through and read all this stuff, and I've seen all these people. But no, I don't.
Chris Adams, I liked Chris Adams to a point, but he was really, really I don't know what you was bubblegummy, very, very.
Until he turned heel.
And then he turned, and it was like, oh, this is much better. This is much better.
But in real life, he was a bad boy.
He was a bad dude. He was a bad dude. But yeah, that was my number five.
Okay, I got you. Hey, I'm with you. I mean, that stuff down in Texas. If you know, it was Von Erich. If you all, any wrestling fan has probably seen the Von Erich movie.
Yes.
They were Texas. And to turn on them meant two things. One, you're going to be hated by everybody in Texas.
And two, you're going to hurt you at the arenas.
You're going to have police walk you around. And number three, you're going to make a lot of money because not everybody wants to see you in the main event getting beat up by a Von Erich. So it's a good move on his part.
It was. That's how he made money, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was. And so, he carried it off. He did good.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. All right. It was good. So,
all right. I'm not going to argue there.
All right. What we got
And
here?
I'm not going to either.
Yeah, well, you need to go watch it.
I'm writing them down.
Okay.
There you go. Well, you'll have this one. My number 4. Actually, a Raw episode, not even a pay-per-view.
Whoa.
It was the Raw episode after Payback in 2014.
2014?
Yes.
Wow. What do you got?
Okay. The infamous Plan B.
Oh, yeah, Rollins, yeah.
Seth turns on the Shield.
Yeah.
I'll have to admit, that one caught me by surprise. I did not see it. And usually,
I didn't either.
I caught a lot of them.
I didn't either. It's one of those that you go back and watch and then you say, well, yeah, I kind of did, but I really kind of didn't. It was a good one. It was a great one.
It was good.
And it was great timing. And
and again,
blew up.
It's like all of mine on here. It was something that changed the direction all of a sudden.
And at that time they needed direction change.
Yes.
It was getting a little stale. The Shield had run their course really.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about you two, but I truly thought the way Vince was, you know how he is about the big guys.
Yes.
I truly thought he would, if anybody broke off, they're going to have Reigns turn on
Roman,
because he's the big guy. He's the one that looks right. He's the one this and he's the one that. And when they turned Seth, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was good.
And it was done so well. It was done so perfect.
Yeah, it didn't get any better than that. So
no, it was just a great setup.
Yeah.
Great. And like you said, it continued and carried a great story.
Yes. Changed the direction of everything. Yes, so it was great.
Hey, Mike, you were alive during that one.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I was.
Yep.
But that's nothing didn't make my top.
So much for that. So
let's go back to it may not have made your top.
I took all the good ones.
But did you think that turn was a good turn?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I love.
Yeah, good timing. Yeah, the timing was perfect. Everything was good on it. So
yeah, the only thing I didn't like about it, and when you can go back and watch it. You folks watching, go back and watch it. Whenever he popped Roman, Moxley, Ambrose turns around and just stares at him and does that look.
Yeah.
Why are you waiting for yours? I mean,
yeah, right.
Yeah, go get him. For a split second, I thought Mox was going to switch with him.
Right.
For a split second because he didn't do anything.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. But anyway, that's good. It's a good one. It's a good choice.
Yeah, I like it.
It was on my list.
Yeah. There you
go. All right, Chuck, what do you got at number 3?
All right. Number 3. This took place. It was in the Omni, April of '88.
Okay.
And the unique thing about this, and we've talked about it before, back then you had TV shows and studios.
Right.
And you watch those shows, and a lot of times just to see what happened the previous week at the big shows.
Yes. Yes.
So this one, WTBS, they opened the show with the World Tag Titles between Wyndham and Luger and Tully and Arn.
Yes.
With J.J. Dillon outside.
Yes.
And you could see it building between Wyndham and Luger.
Yes.
And Wyndham finally turns, clotheslines, suplexes Luger, pins him, turns on him, and forms the best product of the Four Horsemen that I think.
Well, in your opinion.
In my opinion, that group of four of Tully, Arn, Flair, and Wyndham were the best four. That's why I got this one as my number 3. Well, it started the best group.
You're forgetting the Paul Roma Four Horsemen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good choice. That's a damn good choice.
Wyndham's always been one of my favorites. I mean, anybody's watching of our older podcasts, Wyndham's always been one of my all-time favorites. And that took me by surprise. That was good.
It was a good one. But as time went on, the whole Wyndham turning on Luger, Luger turning on Sting, Sting turning on Wyndham, Sting, Luger that kind of got a little convoluted as things went on. But yeah, that was great. That was just I agree. I saw when it came on Saturday afternoon, and you watched it, and it was, whoa! It was just, my God, did that really happen?
And that was the cool part. Like I said, you had to watch it on TV and watch them go back and commentate over it and watch it happen at the event. So that was cool.
Yeah, you can go back and watch those old WTBS studio shows, Mike. I don't know if you've done any of that on YouTube, but that's where the old Wendy's
and WWE's got all that on. If you can find it anywhere, wherever they got it now, Netflix, wherever the hell it is now.
Well, you can find. Well, just go to YouTube and type in,
True.
Wyndham turns on Luger. Georgia Championship Wrestling. They'll give it to you. But that's a good choice.
Good stuff.
That was a big turn right there. I mean, I'm trying to remember though, because Luger turned on JJ, Tully and Arn at the Stampede.
Right.
And so at that time, did they still? Did Ole come back for a little?
I think Ole was still there.
He was off and on. So they still had 4.
Right.
And so then they recruited Wyndham a little bit further down the road after Luger turned. Then Wyndham turned on Luger. Okay. I'm just trying to get the time. There was so much of that moving around, so they tried to get that perfect group. So
I know at one point it was Ole, Arn, Sting, and Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Right.
That's my favorite.
It was.
I'm a huge Steen mark though. So
yeah, you are. You think Steen's a hero?
I do love Steen.
But now that you say that turn where Flair turned on Sting in the tag match when he was supposedly pissed off at Arn and Pillman, that is on my turn. That is on my heel list, my heel turn list. But I can't really. I put it on there because it was a big moment for me. But I can't really put it on there because it's Ric Flair.
It's Flair. That's why I couldn't have him on any of mine.
You can't put Flair as a guy turning heel.
Like Mr. Perfect. You can't have him a turning heel. He was always a heel.
He's always a heel. He acted like he was a face against Terry Funk or whatever, but he's always a heel. So all right, good choice. What's your number 2?
My number 2, I know for a fact neither one of you is going to have it because
don't know.
I know.
Okay.
I'm looking at my list right now.
I'm 95% sure you didn't.
Go for it.
2013, over in Japan.
I don't have it.
There you go. This is back when I was doing a deep dive and watching a bunch of stuff, and I got kind of caught up in a little bit of New Japan.
Okay, what do you got?
And there was a tag match going on with Taguchi and Finn Balor.
Okay,
against a couple of guys.
Okay,
this is when end of the match. Balor Pele kicks Taguchi, joins up with Bad Luck Fale, Tama Tonga, and Carl Anderson. That's how they started the Bullet Club.
I remember seeing the video of it. When I first, I didn't really know much about Finn Balor. When I started seeing him in NXT, then I went to go look for him, and I remember that video. Yeah.
Yep, big deal. That was the beginning, and I had that at number 2 because you talk about industry changing. The Bullet Club was and still is. Yeah, I mean it's broke off into formations. It's a better version, I guess, a different version of the NWO type thing. But they broke off into groups and other. But
didn't they overblow that too? Like the NWO, they started adding so many different people to it. Everybody wanted to be.
They did it at a time. Then they stopped it. Yeah. They blew it up and then they stopped it.
Yeah.
And then Then they. Of course, Japan's big into factions, so they eventually tore them up and broke off into 2 or 3 factions, and then Tonga Loa came in, and then Carl Anderson's Gallows came in, and there was 5 or 6 of them that just ran it for a while, and then then Styles turned on Balor, and then Styles took over the Bullet Club lead, but it was the start of something that was iconic in the wrestling world.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it still carries on. And if you go in there, how many people have how many people in the Bullet Club throughout the years were good guys until they joined the Bullet Club? There's a lot of heel turns in there.
Yeah.
But you probably pulled out the best one.
Yeah. And it's just like a horseman thing or whatever. You'll still sell You can still sell that merchandise today. You still see it at every show. Bullet Club shirts, Bullet Club gear.
Oh yeah,
it's just out there.
All right, we're up to number one.
Yeah, didn't have that one.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd have any Japan stuff. Number one, Chuck.
No, my number one, Johnny will have it, no doubt in my mind. But it was one that made the most impact on me growing up that I will remember always. Christmas Day, Dallas, Texas, cage match. Ric Flair versus Kerry Von Erich for the title, with Michael Hayes as special second guest referee.
It's on here. It's on. It's 1982.
Yeah. Freebirds and the Von Erichs were friends at that time. Hayes kept trying to get Kerry to pin Flair. He finally lays Flair out, throws Kerry on top of him. Kerry won't take the pin. Hayes gets mad, goes to leave. Kerry leans across the ropes. Gordy slams the cage on Kerry Von Erich's head.
Yep.
Busts him open. Flair pins him, and you ignited the biggest feud ever.
The most iconic
Freebirds and Von Erichs.
I mean, you can
the feud that did it for everything leading, everything in the future. Let's started with that group.
Oh, sure.
That was just,
I mean, when
that was a good match. It was a good old school match.
One of the best heel groups ever.
Yes.
They got shot at. They got chased with knives. They got their tires were slashed. One story on them, their tires were slashed where they went to every arena they went to when they were touring with Dallas. They actually started when they'd get into town, whether it be El Paso or Dallas or wherever it was, they would actually go to the police station to get a cop to take them to the arena. They'd pay the police to take them. Well, then the police cars started getting their tires slashed because they were taking the Freebirds to the arenas. That's how bad they were. That's how much they hated them. That's why they were so good.
Right. And I was listening to a podcast not too long ago with Michael Hayes on it. And they signed I think he said a one-time deal with Fritz.
Right.
To just come in, just him to come in.
Yeah.
And he said he came in and did the show and saw how crazy it was in Dallas.
Yeah.
And he said he called Gordy, who those two are feuding with each other in Georgia.
Yeah.
He called Terry Gordy and said, "You got to get down here. We're going to be friends with the Von Erichs." And then we're going to turn them and we're going to just start counting money.
Yeah, I know.
How much of that is true, I don't know.
And they did. I mean, my God, they did. It was incredible.
That's what happened. It was everywhere they went.
It was back in the day of the territories. Whenever the territories were that, because see, you had a group like the Freebirds that were just hated with a passion in Dallas, but you go to Georgia and everybody loved them. But see, you didn't have cable. You couldn't watch it. You had to pick up a magazine and say, they hate the Freebirds in Dallas. Why do they hate the Freebirds? No, we love them here in Georgia. What the hell?
Well, and it's like, it's like the Von Erichs, in Dallas, they're the biggest faces in the country. Then you pick up a magazine and David's in Florida, cheating and stabbing people and breaking rules.
Oh, in St. Louis, they were hated in St. Louis.
St. Louis, they hated the Von Erichs.
It's just that was the great thing that I miss about the territories. You didn't know who these people were.
Didn't know.
And how other people thought about
magazines were awesome.
Yeah.
I remember that growing up. I remember that growing up. Chuck always had the magazines. I always loved going over there and getting the magazines.
That's the only way we got information. You didn't have the internet. They weren't in the newspaper, obviously, and so all we could do was, you get the magazines and read what you could. I mean, it was every year they had the PWI Top 500, and it was like getting the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you.
It
was. But anyway, good choices, Chuck. I mean, I had one, two, three. I had four of them on. I didn't have the Japanese. I didn't go overseas. I didn't have the Japanese guy.
I do have. I had two of them that I couldn't just totally wipe them out. I got to at least bring them up. We don't have to discuss, but I got to at least bring them up.
Go ahead. Like I still have 25. I can or 20. I can pull
exactly.
So give me two. Give me two honorable. You're going to make me really reach down in the bag here. But go ahead. What do you got?
I got the WrestleMania 17 back in 2001 when Austin joined up with Vince.
Yeah, I have that one. I
Hit the
have
rock
that
with
one.
the chair.
Yeah,
And then
and see there again.
I thought about that one too.
I had it. It's on here, but my thing is,
it's Austin. That's
It's he's
yeah.
already
right.
It changed the course of wrestling,
Right.
but did it really? Because Austin,
Right.
I mean, what was it? 2 months later,
why,
3 months later, he whipped Vince's ass, and everybody's was
right.
back at But yeah, I
that's
had
why
it on here. I had it
that's
on.
why I
Here.
decided to go backwards. But
Yeah,
and the other one I had wasn't really defining of big changes, but it did change a career, and that was
which one's that?
The Superdome in New Orleans back in 1982. Ted DiBiase turns on JYD and wins the North American title.
Yeah.
And from that point forward, DiBiase
became
was
Ted
one
DiBiase.
Was one of the best heels
ever.
Anywhere he went.
Ever.
From that point, he went to Georgia, he went to Texas, he went to everywhere he went. He was a heel, and people hated that man.
Yeah, everybody hated Ted DiBiase. He was one of the greatest bad guys ever. Nobody liked him, but this tells you how good the Freebirds are, because when the Freebirds came to Mid-South, DiBiase became a good guy because the Freebirds were here. That's how
they were so
the
hated.
Freebirds were.
Yeah.
That's why they're just so good.
And talk about luck of the draw, getting that gimmick to be the $1 Million Man.
Yeah. And it was perfect for it.
And can knowing all the people we know in wrestling, could you see anybody else pulling that off?
He did a pretty good job of it from what I remember.
I mean, I can't think of all the other people that have gone through the WWF or the WWE, especially the WWF, when there was all the characters and all that kind of shit. None of I can't think of anybody else that could have taken that gimmick and made it what it was, like Ted DiBiase did.
The only ones I could even think of, because you got to have pure arrogance for that. And Orndorff, Mr. Perfect, maybe, but I don't think he
was such a badass, though.
Yeah.
He was just an ass kicker.
Yeah. So
he'll fall into one of our top 10s somewhere.
Oh yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. All right. So
there you go. There's my 7.
Well, I mean, I can't argue with it. I mean, hell.
No. I have some research to do.
Well, you only gave us you only gave us Austin. What's your other one?
Huh?
You only gave us one.
Junkyard Dog.
Oh, the dog. That's right. Dog and DiBiase.
Yeah.
That's right.
DiBiase
and Dog. Yeah, I had that one, so I can mark that off my list too.
I was gonna put Mr. Wrestling number 2, and when he was doing running knee lifts on sacks of sand.
Yeah, he turned on Magnum TA. He turned on TA.
Yeah, that's when they had the old tar and feathering on TV that you probably can't do anymore.
And everybody had the lighter and blew up fire in people's face.
Threw fireballs at people.
That's right. Jesus.
Mid-South was awesome.
Well, that's good, Chuck. You got anything else?
Nah.
Any more comments on yours, Chuck, before we give me a few minutes to take a break and find my
I think I lost y'all there.
After y'all, are you still there?
There we go.
Yes.
Okay. I'm getting you over here. You must be glitching on your end.
Had a weird connection. We got heavy winds over here or something. I got some glitching going on. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, we're good to go.
Okay. Well, let's again, we appreciate you coming in on this. And if you didn't see part 1 and see Mike's 5, go back and look at that one. And we're getting ready to take a break here. And I'm going to pull my 5s because we can't match each other. So like, subscribe, comment, give us especially the comments down there. If we've missed something that you think needs to be in there in our heel list or in our turning heel lists, put it down there. Give us something to talk about. But we'll be back here in just a few, and it'll be a new cast. It'll be a new cast for my top 5 with what's left of the 10 that they've already yanked out of there. It's going to take me a couple minutes. So we appreciate you coming in. Go back and look at the other 2, and hope you'll look at the 3rd one as well. And we'll be back here shortly. You guys got anything else?
Don't have anything. Like, subscribe, hit those buttons, make some comments.
Hit them all.
We'll be back soon.